What up, YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with True Table. Welcome to the table. Today, I'm going to be discussing, I'm going to be doing a reaction to a video I stumbled across. And pretty much, it's a content creator by the name of Anthony O'Neal. Solid brother. Shout out to you, my brother. Keep doing what you're doing. But he was reacting to, one of my favorite content creators, Mr. Kevin Samuels, about something that Kevin said in one of his mini videos. It's his stance on his position on how men should operate from a financial perspective. So I'm going to be reacting to the video, not the entire video. I took a clip out of his response to Kevin's opinion or whichever. And I am going to leave a description. I am going to leave the link of the video in the description so you guys can check it out in its entirety. For those who appreciate good content, I would definitely recommend that you go ahead and listen to it because it's got a lot of gems in there. Solid brother, like I said. But before I get cooking, before I slide into the kitchen, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate it. It does wonders for my self-esteem. It does wonders for my creativity. And it does wonders for the algorithm, so I appreciate it. But without further ado, the video clip is about a minute 45 seconds, so go ahead and bear with me. Without further ado.
Man, if you can't pay for everything, you are still a solid man. And young ladies watching this, if you're looking for a man to pay for every single thing when y'all go out, listen, man, your options are low. Your options are not going to be that high because the average man is not going to make over $100,000 a year. But let me tell you a little secret. Let me hip you up to the game. Don't look at a man for what he's making. Look at a man for what is his mindset. How is he using the resources that God has given him? Because let me tell you, man, we did a recent study here at Ramsey Solutions, and we noticed that out of all the millionaires that we studied, a large portion of them were school teachers and accountants, making on average in between $40,000 to $60,000 a year. These are school teachers and accountants that when they became millionaires, they never made above six figures, but they invested wisely. They had the mindset of millionaires. So don't get it twisted. Just because the brother can't take you to Ruth Chris Steakhouse and pay for it all the time, just because the brother can't sit here and do all this stuff, doesn't mean he ain't a man. Because a man thinks about the future, not just how he can impress you today. A man thinks about, I'm about to get upset. A man thinks about, how do I provide for my family? How do I set my kids up to win? How do I make sure that my grandkids know my last name when I'm not here? That's a man. A man ain't thinking about how to impress you today on the first date. What? No, he's thinking about, okay, cool. On this first date, I'm going to show you I'm a good steward of my money. I'm not taking you to go spend no $300, $500 on the first date. I don't even know who you are. I'm not going to do all.
Now, some of you may be asking, why did this particular video catch your attention? Well, mainly because without me ever actually saying it, I'll say it today. I agree with about 90% of what Kevin Samuels says. And in that 10% that's lingering, in that 10% that I don't necessarily agree with, this was actually what I didn't agree with. One of the particulars. I have discussed it in private with some of my friends and different associates and whatnot. But I had said that was probably one of the stances that I did not agree with in reference to his position on a man's particular financial responsibility when it comes to dealing with females. I do understand how being a man and what may be expected of us financially. I agree that you as a man should be able to maximize your abilities. But one of the biggest stances I take on this personally is that as a man, and this is something I practiced way before my resources what they are now, it was understanding that the way you manage money, the way you utilize your resources speaks more volumes about you than just being able to spend it. The one thing that everybody has in common is that most people don't suck at not knowing how to spend money. Spending money is actually very easy for most people. Knowing how to identify how to spend money strategically is what most people's challenge is. And this is something I've actually found to be true in the case of dealing with even females, relationships in the past, dating along the way, because the economy, if you guys do not know, is mostly stimulated by female spending. I think women spend 70%, 73%, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I checked, on the overall money that is spent in the economy collectively, 73%, which means that they do a lot of shopping and a lot of, burning cash for the most part. And fine, cool. But one of the things that as a man that I had to learn and understand at an early age is that it was my responsibility to place parameters on my spending. And not only just my spending individually, that was also when I was involving myself with a young lady. I used to have these conversations, with girls in the times where they had maybe felt that there should have been more done. And specifically with dating, because the one thing about dating, fellas, is that they don't tell you as a young man, you should not be setting the bar that high. I firmly believe, I'm going to say this on my channel. Yes, you can repeat it. You can take it if you like. I think a girl should earn a date. What do I mean by that? I think that if you meet a young lady and you guys y'all hit it off, you click, whichever, however, I think that in that time that you start to spend time with her, whatever you decide should be very minimal. Some people say do a coffee date. What I used to do is I would meet a girl at the park, bring a stack of cards. We may stop at 7-Eleven before we go to the park, get a couple of snacks, a Slurpee, and we walk around a pond, chatting. Stop at a local bench, pull out the cards, play Go Fish or Speed or whatever. Because my thing was I was really trying to get to know her. And it wasn't about the fact that my resources weren't as, vast as they are now. That wasn't what it was. What I mainly wanted was that I did not want this woman to be distracted by a good time. I did not want to create the illusion of a lifestyle that she could expect to experience every time she was going to be spending time with me. That was the main thing. And I caught that early. I think I may have been about 21 at the time. And it just was like, no, this is, one, it's not economical. Two, by natural nature, in most cases, women are not the type of creatures that you can start high and then dwindle. That's just not how they work. I found that if you were looking for a quality girl, someone who was going to be actually worth something, someone who wanted to stick and really rock with you, get to know you, that she would be totally along for the ride if she had a good time with you. And that really was what it boiled down to. And a good time didn't necessarily mean Disneyland. A good time didn't necessarily mean a fashion show or a concert or, a flight over to the Maldives or anything like that. It didn't require all of this exuberant things that most people, quite honestly, will never experience or experience on a regular basis. So I didn't want to sell myself short. One, I try to be a very authentic individual. I do my best to be consistent and genuine. So I wanted that to be conveyed through the time that I was spending with young ladies. So one of the reasons why I wanted to react to this video is because this is always a topic of discussion when it comes to the relationship space. That women are out here clamoring that they feel men should do these things. And they feel they should do these things for every girl that they meet, in a sense. Where I totally disagree. One, we live in a modern time. We live in a time now that it is not just men earning money. It's not men just advancing their careers. It's not men just the ones bringing home the bacon. Women are very active in the workforce. So I would assume that the equation that is two adults who are gainfully employed or have a resource of sorts would be able to figure out as adults how they can go and do certain things and enjoy each other, because that's really what it's about anyway. So I appreciated Anthony for responding to that and giving his position and his take on it, because one of the things that he said in the video in the clip was that as a young lady, a woman should be concerned about the mindset of the man. She should be concerned about how he views his energy, how he views his time, how he views his resources, how he is moving in a way that shows solidarity long term. I believe, fellas, that if you're around a quality woman, this is my opinion, if you are doing certain things that may seem to be luxurious or elaborate, questions should start to form. You know, women are already naturally nosy. They want to know some stuff. So I believe that they should be inquiring. Well, what do you do for a living? Or how are you managing all of this? Obviously, with a respectful tone and in her, being inquisitive and inquiring on exactly what you do. Because what she should be looking for is understanding maybe where you really are at. It's very easy to do math, fellas. It's very easy to be able to take your $40,000, $50,000 salary and then watch maybe 2 or 3 dates. And every time y'all done went out on the dates, these dates are costing $500, $600, $700. That's not usually sustainable for someone who is earning normal money. So anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that for the ladies, this modern era and this specific type of expectation around money and what men should be doing, I think it's downright wrong. I think it's very dangerous. I think that what it starts to do is it starts to diminish men for being nothing but their paycheck, and as well as it could distract you ladies from quality. I'm not saying that a man with money can't be quality, but I would definitely look at where's his money coming from, how did he acquire his money, because those things do matter, in my opinion. And it's one thing for a man to have a standard, a lifestyle standard, and this is just his normal. I heard a girl one time a couple months ago, and one of the content creators I was watching, forgive me because I consume this stuff on a regular basis, but she was saying that the reason why her standard for the man's earning potential is so high is because the men she deals with, a steakhouse is their normal place of dining, where it's Tuesday and they're at Ruth Chris, they're at Nobu. This is their daily. And she was pretty much saying that this was their daily. And that's fine. That's cool. But one thing I don't like about female behavior is they like to isolate and laser focus on just anecdotal experience, one experience, or their experience. And they don't too much journey outside of their circle, journey outside of their city, journey outside of their basic community, or even their ethnicity or their cultural background, to try to see how other people live life, to try to experience how it is on the other side. And I think that's a bad practice, and it causes for these discrepancies in this world of dating, because a lot of times, I've even said it, that I've been in a position where I dated girls who didn't grow up like me. They weren't either from my community or whichever, however, they were born into money, or they were born where their family had vacation homes. This was normal for them. And so when I would show them the real world, the world at the level that most people live it, like, shopping on a budget, or hitting the clearance rack, or going to Dave & Buster's on Wednesday when it's 50% off of all the video games and things like that, they're like, oh, I didn't know this is how it is, and I've never had to do this. Like, I dated one girl that didn't even know Walmart existed. Walmart. Like she never knew what Walmart was until she met me. And so anyway, and that's okay. But fellas, my fellas, you guys have to understand that one, as a man, everybody's gonna have their own individual season, individual pace. And that this journey is a lifetime journey. It's something that you're gonna do from the time you hit manhood, man age, and then throughout your manhood, you're gonna go through seasons. You're gonna go through developmental seasons. You're gonna go through earning seasons. You're gonna go through loss. You're gonna go through, relationship challenges. You're gonna go through, maybe health challenges. Jobs are gonna dry up. You may get fired. They may downsize. There's gonna be so much that's gonna happen. And throughout this time, you as a man are gonna be, sharpening yourself and being formed into who you are destined to be, into your 30s, into your 40s, into those stages of your life. Don't let these girls come across your path and distract you because you think that you got to come out of pocket more to spend, an excess amount of money on her to get the same booty that, in all honesty, you buying her $300 or spending $300 on a date, $500 on a date doesn't make the sex better. It just doesn't. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. If she's not in it for you, she's not in it to learn you and trying to figure out what kind of man she's really dealing with, then you don't even want to waste your time. Save your money, put it into avenues that are going to have a return, put it into things that's going to propel you to live the life that is going to be fruitful over and over and over again, and not just the moments with these, halfway cute girls who probably gonna grow up and, blow up and be fat, die alone, or whichever may happen into their early 30s and 40s anyway. So, yeah, this is something I stand on. It's a principle that I believe every man should adopt. Your job is to acquire, maintain, and grow as a man. Your job is not to appease her. Your job is to teach her how to live life and sustain, how to live life in a longevity, from a longevity perspective, and that there are moments that you're gonna have experiences, but that's not real life. And if that's what the pace that she wants you to run, if she feels that she can come into your life and tell you how to, if she feels she can come into your life and rewrite your program, you go ahead and tell her to exit stage left and you keep it moving, my guy. So anyway, that's what I wanted to touch on today. That's my reaction to this video. I'm gonna continue to bring you guys this content. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for hanging out with me for, I believe, like 20 minutes or so now. And yeah, I'm gonna be coming at you with another video tomorrow. So look out for that. This is Daniel Rucker with Truth Table, signing out. Go ahead and slide out the kitchen. Thank you. Till next time.